Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. Crazier and crazier every day. Anyway, happy Saturday. If you're watching this stream live, it's Saturday morning. It's the 20th of September, 2025. The world gets crazier every day, doesn't it? As soon as we open our eyes in the morning, there's something else. There's some more crazy news. But anyway, we just put one foot in front of the other, don't we? And we just carry on. We take strength from each other. We try and learn from these crazy things. So for anyone who does not know me and my channel, my name is Vicky Marie. I am based in mainland Spain in Europe. But I am British. I was born in Manchester in the United Kingdom, and I cover crime stories mainly, but not only crime stories, anything that we're going to look at a couple of things at the end of this video to lighten the mood that I found interesting around and about in the crazy world. I mean, they are crazy, but I found them quite uplifting. But anyway, so in this particular live stream, now I try and do a combination of live streams and videos. You know, my followers, I know a lot of them like the live streams, they like the waffle, you know, I tend to waffle in the live streams a bit. And some people like that, strangely enough. Other people don't like that. They like the more to the point videos. So I have released a couple of videos this morning. A couple of things in those videos I'm going to talk about on here for the people who like the waffle and like to, I think what people like is they like to discuss like the issues sometimes in the chat. So if I just release a video, although they can discuss them, you know, coldly, if you like, in the comments, some people like to be in the heat at the moment in the chat, you know, talking about whatever issue it is. Sometimes I release them as premieres, but those particular videos weren't long enough really to be a premiere, because in a premiere you can all still chat. So try and please all of you. I appreciate every single one of you that has subscribed to either my channel Vicky Marie Chats Crime or my Spanish and English channel, which I also stream these videos to, and people seem to like the crime videos too. I appreciate every single one of you that has subscribed, that watches, that shares, that likes the videos, etc. A special appreciation, of course, to my members. Every Thursday is an exclusive members live stream, which if you can't actually make the live stream, you can watch it afterwards. You also get to use the special emojis. Let me put my thank you banner up, actually, which I forgot to put up there. And my members have special emojis they can use. Now, I think what I need to do, actually, I need to do some new emojis. I haven't done, I think the last time I made some new emojis was during the mushroom trial, when we had the Pinocchio emojis. There's the waffle emojis, what a twonk, going to hell, red flag, pink heart, wine, chihuahua, candle, bless you. You know, so these are the emojis that you can use if you're a member of my channel. If you're a member of the Vicky Marie Chats channel. On the other channel, on the Spanish channel, you can also use, there are less emojis because I have less members there, but there are special emojis that you can use on there as well. So thank you to those of you that are members. And Thursday nights, we always have a good time in the members live stream. And, you know, we talk about different things in there. It's sort of crime, but sometimes we talk about paranormal, sometimes we watch body cams, sometimes we talk about UFOs, or we talk about I talk more about personal things. So the members' lives are always different, if you like, from these lives. So please, become a member and you can join in. I also want to thank people that have bought me Ko-fis or bought merchandise. My merchandise is on my Ko-fi page. I want to thank people who send super stickers, lovely emails that I get, messages, positive messages that people leave. Thank you for all that input that you put into my channel. That makes it worth doing the channel in the first place. Okay, so hello, lovely lurkers, all you lovely lurkers out there. Those of you who like to watch the lives but don't like to join in the chat, thank you for watching. Hi, loathsome lurkers. You obviously still haven't got anything better to do than watch a channel that you don't like. But thank you. Also, I want to say hello to you replay crew. Thank you so much for watching. Now, it's funny with these long lives. This will probably be quite a long live. So get your provisions, get your cup of tea, get your glass of wine, get your beer, whatever floats your boat, because it will be a long stream. And some people like those and some people don't, as I've said. And for me personally, when I'm watching other YouTube channels, the ones that do long streams, I love them when I'm like cooking or I'm dropping off to sleep or, cleaning or it's nice. It's like having them on in the background. And then you sort of pick up on things that you especially find interesting. So, when it's a long stream, it's probably not everything in this stream you'll find interesting maybe. But you can come and go from the stream. You can pick which ones you want to listen to, what you don't want to listen to. So, as I say, just try and please everybody. Some people like the very short videos. What I tend to do is chop up the live streams as well into short videos and put them out there. For those of you who don't like my waffle, that's fine. We're all different. It wouldn't be good, would it, really, if we were all the same? And on this channel, we respect each other's opinions as long as they're not disrespectful, as long as people don't shout at us or call us idiots for having a different view to them. We have to I've had to get rid of a few people like that because, we've all got different views. That's part of the beauty of being a human being. Do you remember when we used to debate about things? Not just everything was black and white. And if you didn't agree with one person, if you didn't agree with me, that's it. You must be something wrong with you. It's not like that, is it? We have respect for each other's views on this channel. So that's basically the rules of the chat are that show respect not only to me, but to the other chatters. If you don't like someone's opinion, just scroll down. Block them, do whatever you like, but I don't want arguing on my chat because we're not here to do that. We're not here to argue. There's enough arguments going on in the world. There's enough horrible things going on. We don't want it on here, do we? And the other rule, of course, is don't mention other YouTube channels or social media things by name. You can talk about them, just don't mention their names. And the only reason for that is, I can get into trouble, like if I end up giving a personal view on another creator. I don't have personal views on creators. I have ones I like and ones I don't like. But the ones that I don't like, maybe other people like them. People who like my channel may like other creators that I don't like. But it's not for me to tell them what to watch. I can't be doing with these channels. One type of channel I don't like are channels that try and tell their followers who they should follow, what they should watch, what they should think. Watch what you like, and if you like channels that I personally don't like, what's it got to do with me? Anyway, so to avoid all that, of getting into that sphere of, oh, what I like, what I don't like. We don't generally mention social media, other social media channels. That's the only reason. So nobody thinks I like one better than another. Also, of course, there are social media creators. Sometimes I like some of their videos. You can't, I don't understand why people think you've got to agree with someone all the time. I can watch a creator who I really quite like and agree with everything they say for maybe 10 videos, and then one video they do and I don't agree with them, but I'm not going to throw my dummy out of the pram because for that one video I don't agree with them. It's like, just scroll down, click out, watch the next one, and when you probably will agree with them again. That's how it is. That's, to me, social media should be about that, not telling people what to watch, expecting everyone to have exactly the same opinions as you, because you know what, that's just not going to happen. And to be honest, it shouldn't happen, should it? So right, there you go, there's the waffle there, right there, going off on a tangent. Forgot where I'd got to, but yeah, thank you to those of you who send me emails as well. And something that I keep forgetting to say, I'm any crime that I'm talking about or any topic that I'm talking about, if you've got something maybe particularly about that, I mean, I do get you'd be surprised, I do get emails sometimes from families of victims that I talk about. So that's another reason why we always have to be respectful, because you just don't know who's watching. And if anyone's got anything they think, in total confidence, you can email me at vickymariechats@gmail.com. I never reveal my sources, ever. Unlike some creators who, again, I'm not going to mention, but just breathtaking how some people just reveal who's contacted them and what they've said without that person's permission. That never happens on my channel. Okay, I think that's it for now. So I'm going to come into the chat. I'm going to say hello to those of you who are brave enough to come into the chat. And you've been doing quite a lot of chatting, I can see that. Got 55 comments so far. So I've got a long way to go up. Hi, David. Hi, Annie. Glad you could make it. Hi, Lily. Hi, Bluebell. Hi, Heather. I said hello to Lily. I did. Yeah, everyone, see, this is my members and my regular chatters. They like the waffle. Hi, Angel. So you've got to try and please everybody, haven't you, at the end of the day? At the end of the day, this channel, although it is sort of my channel, because I'm the one but it is for everyone. It's a community. So, we all have to respect what other people want as well. Just because maybe, you perhaps don't like the waffle. I'm not going to make all my videos without waffle because other people do like it. So, and vice versa. That's how it is. So my channel belongs to my followers as much as it belongs to me. Gosh, there's a lot of chat going on there. A lot of chat. Thank you. Thank you for being it. And, I wasn't going to do a live today, to be honest. I was going to do a series of smaller videos like I started off doing. But the thing is, I know that you all like to chat, and also I miss chatting to you as well. So I thought, no, I'm going to do a live. I'm going to go over briefly the videos that I've put out this morning, and then I'm going to talk about other. Oh God, I've got a list. I've got a list of things to talk about 6 or 7 things that I wanted to talk about, and I thought, oh my God. So sometimes the best way to do that is to do a long stream, talk about all the different things, and then split it off later to do the smaller videos. So where are we going to start? So I think we'll start with the 2 videos that I put out this morning that I just want to go at, because you may not have seen them, and I just want to go through those quickly. So the first one was the press conference about Travis Decker. Travis Decker, of course, was the POS father who murdered his 3 daughters over there in America near Washington State, and then disappeared, and everyone thought he was on the run. But I always thought right from the beginning that man is deceased somewhere. Anyway, finally, it's taken a long time. It was a very difficult search. His remains have been found. Now, I released the press conference with no commentary, and we're going to watch it together so you can comment on it, and I'll probably do a bit of commentary as well.
All right. Do my best. Try not to get.
All right. I think we're ready if you guys are.
Yeah.
So this man, just a background, just in case people don't know, Travis Decker. I suppose I still haven't put him in the hellhole. I need to do his hellhole video, and then I don't have to show photos of him anymore. But this is him, the good old American boy. Yeah. Yeehaw, Stars and Stripes. He was in the army. He had 3 beautiful little girls under the age of 10, and he murdered all 3 of them just out of spite because his ex-wife wouldn't go back to him. Lovely man, not. And of course, well, the 3 girls are up in the corner of this video. We'll have a little closer look at him. Yeah. Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. Beautiful little girls. Anyway, there's no justice for them in this world. Hopefully he'll be getting his justice in the next world, because remains have been found finally. There was a lot of talk he might have gone on the run because he's a bit of a survivalist, this, that, and the other. But anyway, he's been found very close by to where the girls were killed, which, you know, to me just seemed a logical thing. But it's a very difficult terrain. I'm not criticising the law enforcement. I think it's been very hard to find Travis, even though they probably knew from experience that he was probably quite close by. The terrain, also, they had a few false sightings of him, so they had to go off and pursue them. Anyway, they found him, and well done.
All right. Yep, go ahead. Tell us a little bit, if you want to introduce who this is and then who you guys have, and then tell us a little bit about what this week holds for you.
All right. So good evening. I'm Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison. Behind me, you'll see members of our federal partners, the U.S. Border Patrol, U.S. Marshal Service, and I also have a member of my administration, would be Chief Ryan Moody, who's overseeing our detectives unit as Chief of Operations. I appreciate all of you coming here today. We're going to give an update just based off our operations that we've been conducting. These were pre-planned operations for a 4th search related to the Travis Decker case. And this is in regards to the murder of Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia.
Now, yeah, so this is the 4th planned search. So, you know, just shows you really. And in fact, his remains, or his shirt, well, he's going to tell you in a minute, his shirt was spotted by a drone, I believe. And then with closer investigation, they realised it was his shirt. And then they went into the scene, and, you know, I think from what you're saying, it was where the remains were found. It's quite a difficult place to access. And the other thing that I thought was interesting is there was no, one of the guys, the search guys who comes on says no weapon, or no gun anyway, was found at the scene. So makes you wonder how he unalived himself. If he did unalive himself, maybe he put a bag. They put bags over these 3 girls' faces, 2 bags actually, smothered them. Oh, it makes you wonder, did he do that to himself? I don't know, but there was no gun at the scene.
Again, we have not lost sight of what we're focused on doing, and that's bringing justice to those 3 girls. We are close to justice being served and law prevailing. During our search yesterday, around 15:30 hours, that'd be 3:30 p.m., our search teams did locate an anomaly that was seen in AI imaging from our drones. In closer inspection, when we got that, we did see that it was potentially a shirt. We were able to get units on the ground that did confirm that the shirt was consistent with what we had seen in previous surveillance photos with Travis Decker. So I am confirming the shirt that we saw on scene is a match for what Travis was last seen wearing. In addition to shorts, which were U.S. Rangers shorts, they were also a match. And also personal items to include chewing tobacco that was consistent with what he had chewed, a bracelet, which is consistent with what we'd seen in photos of him wearing. So collecting those items, we've since sent them off to the Washington State Patrol's crime lab. We're hopeful that we'll get those results back soon. I appreciate Chief John Batiste and the Washington State Patrol for for continuing to be a constant ally for us.
Yeah, so that's why they're so certain that it's Travis, because all those items belong to him. They knew that they belonged to him. So they're pretty much 99.9% certain it's Travis, but they've sent everything off for the forensic testing just to make sure.
In my call this morning, I asked if he could expedite it. I understand the Chelan County Sheriff's Office is not the only agency within Washington State investigating a homicide and looking for quick results back from a DNA test. So Chief Batiste, Washington State Patrol, we appreciate it. We understand there are a lot of pressure. Going through the processing of the decomposition that we found amongst that clothing has been challenging for the State Patrol's crime lab.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of decomposition because it's been there for about 3 months, hasn't it? If he died soon after the girl, which I think he died probably maybe even the same day that he killed the girls. But it's interesting again what he says there, that it's not the only homicide or the only DNA results needed quickly in that area, because of course we highlight cases, but there'll be loads of homicides in that area, unfortunately, won't there? So the forensic, the people that are doing the forensic testing, everybody wants their results back now, don't they? Because all those law enforcement officers, they want to solve whatever case it is they're working on. But they can only do one at a time, can't they? Though this is a very high-profile case. I mean, obviously, because it was 3 little girls that were killed. But I think also this man, he was at large to all intents and purposes, to the public. And then there's the girl's mother, she must be breathing a sigh of relief. Whitney, although her life's been torn apart because he murdered her 3 daughters. But at least now she's not looking over her shoulder to see if Travis is coming after her.
They were able to get DNA off that sample, and they are comparing it to the DNA samples that we have in place for Travis Decker. I have asked them to take their time, not rush this. This has been a thorough investigation up to this point. We don't want any mistakes made. Our investigative team has continued to be out on the ground today with Washington State Patrol's Crime Lab team. We've also had members of the FBI's Crime Lab team out here assisting us. We found additional body parts today to include 2 feet, some femurs, and also
found 2 feet, 2 femurs. So he's obviously been scattered, and that'd be animals that will have done that, likely, won't it? So they've got a lot of piecing together to do, if you pardon the pun, literally and figuratively. They've got pieced together his body, try and collect all the parts, try and work out what his cause of death is.
some vertebrae. We've requested that these items also be sent off to Washington State Patrol's crime lab for additional testing to be compared. Again, we do not want to rush this process. We'd like to have DNA results this evening, but I understand in the interest of justice, to ensure this case is handled properly, we have asked them to stand by, test more samples, and we hope to get those in the next couple of days. We're appreciative for our federal partners that have continued to be biased throughout this process. We recognize that we're trying to bring closure to this community, and more importantly, we're trying to bring pressure to our allies to come and give us more assistance where needed. But we do appreciate the fact that Whitney and her family have been very cooperative with us, and we're trying to bring them peace of mind and closure for this. We think we're one step closer. As soon as we get the results back, we are optimistic that these results will confirm that we have located Mr. Decker. But until that time, we're going to stand by and wait for the 100% confirmation.
Yeah. So, yeah, virtually 100% certain it's him. And yeah, I think for Whitney, the mother, her grief will start now almost, because she's probably just been thinking, where is he? Where is he? Is he coming after me? Why did you do it? Now, if when it's found that it is him, when it's confirmed it is him, it's almost like it'll almost be like, then will that be when it hits her properly about the, she's not going to see these little girls again. These little girls are frozen in time forever. This man is, now, this sheriff says some very kind things later on in this video as far as Travis is concerned. I'm finding it hard at the moment to feel anything for Travis, but he's very empathetic sheriff, this guy.
For the meantime, I'm going to bring up the representative from the U.S. Marshals, who have been our ally since day one, assisting us, leading the search effort, and I'll go ahead and let him take questions.
My name is Gavin Duffy. I'm the Chief Deputy United States Marshal from the Eastern District of Washington.
You guys have been on site. You've been part of this for months now, 3.5 months. You've pretty much been working hand in hand with Chelan. Can you explain why it took so long to be able to find this specific spot? It's less than a mile from where that campground is.
I mean, I think if we look behind us into the backdrop here, the terrain is extremely complex, some of which would, is hard to find anywhere in this country. And that's kind of what we found. I mean, it's incredibly steep. It's incredibly rocky. And that's why we have some of the experts, our special operations group and our partners with Border Patrol's BORSTAR and BORTAC, who are all three experts in this terrain to do it. And I think we're pretty proud of the fact, using all the resources we could across the law enforcement and public safety spectrum to really drill down and find these remains, which we're very, very hopeful and fairly confident.
Yeah, I mean, it's so difficult to find a body. Remember how long it took them to find the doctor who was on Crete, was it? His body was in full view right there near a restaurant. And it still took them a week to find him. I mean, it's very difficult. You think it would be easy, but it's not, So they did the right thing. They kept circling after they had that big meeting with the FBI, and they decided to just go back to sort of ground zero, if you like, and search again and again, because you could search these places 20 times and still miss a dead body, especially after decomposition is set in. And also, I do think they were misled by the false sightings. And I know that at the end of the day, the public, their heart is in the right place when they reported possibly seeing Travis. But it did use up a lot of resources and distract. He was always going to be right there. That's what I thought right from day one. And I said it, I'm sure you remember, I've said from day one, that man is dead. He's in that area. But of course, they have to follow every lead that comes up. Someone comes up and says, oh, they've seen him in Los Angeles. They've got to follow it up. They can't just ignore leads because they were so desperate to find him. But I do think they were a distraction.
Can you tell me a little bit about what it was like whenever whoever the teams were that initially went up there? They were those people that ended up identifying that shirt, seeing those pants. That was that moment. You guys thought, oh, I think we got him. Can you explain a little bit about what that feels like for you?
I think it's the 1 yard line. I mean, we want to get across the goal line with the DNA, but we're pretty, it's a good feeling. We've put a lot of work. I mean, hundreds of people in law enforcement and other career fields have touched this case because of its importance to this Chelan and to the state. So to get to that 1 yard line where we are right now, maybe even a little closer, it felt pretty good for everybody working this case in any way.
There were some people online that were curious if Travis Decker would have gone north to Canada or south to Mexico. What do you say to people who were curious about him ever going that far, in your expert opinion?
Well, I mean, we appreciate the curiosity, right? I mean, we're in the business of finding fugitives and human beings, and they do unique things. And so, I mean, that's how we're thinking.
That's interesting, isn't it? What he said, we appreciate the curiosity, because fugitives do strange things, and they do strange things. He could have been in a bunker, the thing is, he could have been anywhere, but anyway, they found him. That's the main thing.
As well. But we use fact-based policing, and we utilize our partnerships with other agencies, state, local, and federal, and we kind of narrow in on where we need to be looking, and for the most part, we're pretty successful most of the time.
Is this search in that area wrapped up? Is anyone going back up to that site at all?
At this point, no, we're going to shut it down for the night. But if something changes, then we'll be right back to it. And then we're on to the next case. And if there's another case in the mountains, I'm pretty confident Border Patrol will be with us. And we'll be back at it with the state police and specifically the Spokane County Sheriff's Department as well.
Based on the evidence found there, if it is Travis Decker's remains, did it look like someone had been camping there a while or someone on the move?
Ma'am, I don't really have the answer to that specific question.
Can you tell me a little bit about what, say, the next few days looks like for you? Is this something that's going to be more searching, more field work, or is this just now waiting for that DNA evidence?
I think it's a lot of waiting.
How does that feel?
You want to be, again, you want that 100% confidence in what we're doing. And in this situation, because of DNA, we can get there. But I think we'll be looking at our phones, but moving on with the rest of our weekends and traveling back to wherever we're from.
Can you tell me a little
Oh, I really like this guy as well. I've been really impressed with a lot of the law enforcement and the way they talk. He just says it as it is, isn't it? Like when she asked the question, he couldn't give an answer to it because he's not a police officer. He's there to find the remains under his jurisdiction, but he's not there to solve the case. So he can't sort of do that. He can't comment on those things. And then you say, it's interesting what he says because, he's like, oh, we'll have our eye on our phones, but we're off home, to have our weekends. And, and then it'll be the next case. This is their job, isn't it? And obviously all these cases, they're the only case as far as the people concerned, the families and that. But for them, they are literally just another case.
bit about the condition of those bones and those pieces that you found? Were they gnawed by animals? Is that something that seemingly disturbed up there?
I really don't know the answer to that, nor would I be an expert on that matter. Fugitives I can help with, but anthropology, I'm a little...
Yeah, he's so humble as well. He's not like trying. I'm impressed with these. It's not all about their ego, is it? Like, oh, I found them. I was first. We've seen that with a few people, especially Peter Fraudlin and those kind of people. It's all about their ego. There's no ego with these people. This is their job.
Limited.
Can you say whether a firearm was discovered with Mr. Decker?
I do not believe there was, no.
Yeah. Now, I found that interesting because they thought he might be armed and dangerous, didn't they? But he said he did go as far there to say, as far as I know, no firearm found. So if Travis has unalived himself, which seems likely, how did he do it? He didn't do it with a firearm. Now, remember, they found that blood on his car, didn't they? Was it a handprint or something? It just makes me wonder, did he cut himself and just walk off into the wilderness until he collapsed? These things will come to light, I'm sure. Well, I hope so. The problem is with the decomposition and, of course, with the bones being scattered and things, probably from animal activity, won't be easy to determine a cause of death, will it? Unless he has got a bag over his head like he subjected his poor little girls to, or maybe, well, I don't want to go into the details, but hopefully there'll be something there at that scene that will show how he died, because that's going to be difficult, isn't it? With skeletized remains, it's difficult.
Any hint of foul play there, just based on an initial look at the scene?
Again, as an experienced fugitive investigator, I'd leave that to the homicide investigators and the very qualified Chelan County team. So I'm not in a position to really feel that one.
This is obviously hit close to home for a lot of people. Wenatchee is a very small community, so is Chelan County. Any message you have in terms of the importance of closing a case like this?
Well, I think everybody wants this closure across the community, and I mean, it's national level attention. We all want closure on this case, but so we're really hoping we get across. To keep using the analogy, to get across the goal line and be done with this. But for the Marshal Service and every member of law enforcement, from here we just move on to the next violent fugitive, and that's unfortunate, but that's the reality.
Morrison, if I could ask you a question. You guys are from here, you live here, your guys have
he's quite dishy, isn't he?
Kind of the same question for you.
Mm-hmm.
You've met with family, you guys know these people. How does it feel knowing you're so close to 3.5 months of just anxiety maybe coming to an end?
We understand the work's not done. We're still in the midst of a homicide investigation. And as you asked too, if something were to happen to Travis that was not natural or of his own cause, we're going to investigate it as a homicide investigation. We owe that to his family. We owe that to him. He's still a human being. He was a brother. He was a son. He was a family member. So
sweet though, what he said, maybe I'll come round to that way of thinking about Travis. I'm so angry with Travis. I've been angry with him ever since hearing about this. So angry with what he did to those girls. But that's kind what he said, and it's true, because he is still a brother, a family member, and there'll be people grieving him. maybe I'll come round to that way of thinking, but let's just listen to that again. It's just so sweet what he said. So not only is he really quite dishy, he's really quite a nice person, it seems.
You asked too, if something were to happen to Travis that was not natural or of his own cause, we're going to investigate it as a homicide investigation. We owe that to his family. We owe that to him. He's still a human being. He was a brother. He was a son. He was a family member. So again, I find his acts to be heinous and what he's alleged to have conducted and done. But overall, still going to treat him with respect. I said this throughout the process. We didn't want any harm to come to him, and we'll still treat his remains with the kind of respect that anyone would deserve. So we'll look into it. But we understand this is one step closer, as we said, to serving justice and ensuring that the law was issued. So we want to make sure this is closed out properly. We want to make sure the family has the closure. I want Whitney to sleep better at night. I want her family to sleep better at night. I want the community to know that our agency does not give up, no matter how daunting and how challenging the task is. We understand this was not easy. We get the community's frustration. We get our citizens' frustration. But overall, we'd love to have had this done in 3 days. Absolutely. It would have saved us a lot of resources. But it wasn't for a lack of trying. It wasn't for a lack of resources. We brought in some of the best minds in the country, from the FBI, the U.S. Marshal Service, U.S. Forest Service, even the U.S. Army's Criminal Investigation Division. We brought in experts in that field. We did everything. We talked with each other. We met afterwards, debriefed to make sure that we didn't make any mistakes and continue to do everything possible. We understood this could be a criminal case that was going to trial. We didn't want any chance that this would be defeated when we went to trial. And again, I think we're close to the goal we wanted. But we're not going to rush. We're not going to pat ourselves in the back yet. We're not going to say congratulations until we get the results back and we know 100% this is Travis Decker. That is our suspect. That is our only suspect. That is the only evidence that we have shows that he's our suspect. So just to confirm, that is who we were looking for. That's who I believe we found. And we hope the Washington State Patrol can confirm that soon.
One last question.
Nope. Again, I'm not going to put pressure on Washington State Patrol's crime lab. I want them to take their time. I want them to make sure those results are 100% confirmed. Again, this is closing out a very significant case in our county's history. This was the largest manhunt in Chelan County history. This is the most heinous homicide in Chelan County history. And we need to make sure it's closed properly and that we make sure that we're convincing our community that we did the right thing, we have the right subject, and there's no other person out there.
And one last question for me. I don't know if it's for you or Gavin. I saw in the press release that there was a key fob that was found. If one of you could talk a little bit about that, I believe it was found in the river.
Correct. Yeah, so we had a follow-up, and we really appreciate Sheriff Knowles and Spokane County Sheriff's Office for not only bringing their helicopter out here with their air support unit, but also bringing members of their dive team, and they were able to get into spots that National Park Service and our Chelan County Sheriff's Office Swiftwater Rescue Team were not able to get into, since there are spots you'd have to get underneath debris, and they were able to find a key fob in close proximity to our scene, which was great. I mean, it's an additional piece of evidence. We've collected it, we've put it in our evidence room, and it's been logged. But again, that's what it shows for cooperation and teamwork and just bringing additional resources that we didn't have. So we do not have a dive team here at Chelan County Sheriff's Office. Historically, we did, but again, appreciation to Sheriff Knowles and his team for coming in and assisting us further. All right. Appreciate everybody. Thanks. Have a good night.
Oh, we appreciate you as well. We appreciate you. Yes, very nice. Yeah, I do like a sheriff. I'm quite partial to a sheriff. But anyway, so that's what's happening so far with Travis Decker. I'll keep you updated when the results come back, etc. And then, of course, once the results come back, they'll start trying to piece together what actually happened. After he murdered those poor girls, what happened to him, Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is something, as this is another thing that I released a video about this morning. And I don't, just a short video, because again, not many details out so far, but I'm absolutely astounded by this, and I cannot believe it has not had as much media attention that I think it should have had. And this is about these two ambulance people, members of an ambulance team, that were arrested in connection with the deaths of 6 people. It's like 6 people. Anyway, let's have a look. Now, this is in the UK, in Wiltshire. I don't know if you've seen it on the news, if you are in the UK. But it's just, let's have a look at the ITV news, because I had a look at the BBC one on the previous video. So let me share it. I mean, is it just me, or I just think this is like, now, when you're ill, or your loved one, or there's been an accident, is ill, or there's been an accident, it could be a child, it could be your mum, dad, grandma, granddad, it could be you, it could be your son. Well, you ring an ambulance, and when you ring an ambulance, you're expecting help, aren't you? Or if it's, I'm not sure if it's the sort of ambulance that would come to take you on an emergency call, or their ambulance staff that maybe would take you to routine, maybe to your chemotherapy if you had cancer, or to routine doctor's appointments. Sometimes ambulances go out, don't they? And although this has happened in the UK, I think we all can relate to this. That's the other reason why I thought it should be bigger news. It relates to all of us. All of us in our lifetimes will probably have to ring an ambulance at some point, if not for us, for other people, and you expect, don't you, ambulance workers, they're like doctors and nurses, paramedics, all those people. You would trust them implicitly, wouldn't you? Wouldn't consider, really, would you, that they might, do things that could lead to the death of you or your loved one? To me, this has got like Harold Shipman vibes, or Lucy Letby, or Bev Allitt. We put our trust in the medical profession, whoever they are, unquestioningly, really, don't we? And then to think that 2 people have been arrested after 6 deaths as well. And this is just in Wiltshire. So it's not 6 deaths all over the country, but 6, as I was said in the video that I put out earlier, 1 maybe is an accident, 2 is a coincidence, and 3 is a pattern. But 6, it reminds me of some sort of serial killer type situation. 6 deaths. Now, they've been arrested and they've been charged, I think. Well, I've got, they're innocent till they're proven guilty. But, it takes a lot for the Crown Prosecution Service to make a prosecution in these cases, doesn't it? So 2 ambulance workers have been arrested over the deaths of 6 people in Wiltshire. And the investigation was launched in 2023 by Wiltshire Police. Last year, a man in his 30s was arrested on suspicion of 6 counts, I still can't get over how many, of gross negligence, manslaughter, and 4 counts of ill treatment or willful neglect by a care worker. So it seems like maybe these are old people. Have they just treated them like, rubbish? Like, I am a bit speechless about this. So, and then in March this year, a 59-year-old woman was also arrested on suspicion of gross negligence, manslaughter, and they've both been released on bail. So she's 59, he's in his 30s. Are they friends? I mean, did they work together? We don't know. I'll just tell you now, we don't know much about this. We probably won't get to know much about till it actually goes to court. So Phil Walker from Wiltshire Police, the Detective Chief Inspector, said our focus is on supporting the families and loved ones of those who have died, and we would ask the media to respect their privacy at this time. Who's died? I mean, yes, they want their privacy, the family of the victims, but also, these people need, I don't know, it is a public interest story, isn't it? People are using ambulances. As I say, there's probably nobody who at some point in their life either they won't need an ambulance or someone they know will need an ambulance. So a spokesperson for the South Western Ambulance Service NHS Foundation Trust said, as soon as the Trust became aware of any concerns, we immediately initiated an internal investigation, which resulted in a prompt police referral, and we've been working closely with them as part of the ongoing investigation. 2 members of staff were suspended, and the suspension of the 2 members of staff meant that they were immediately relieved of all duties, including the treatment of patients. We'd like to reassure people that this is an isolated situation. No, there's 6 people. It's not that isolated, is it? But they're saying there is no ongoing risk to patients. How do they know? So if they managed to do it, kill 6 people by gross negligence, how do you know there's no ongoing risk to patients? You know, maybe not for these people. Maybe not for these people, but I just think it's hardly been in the news, David. But why has it hardly been in the news? This is big news as far as I'm concerned. I cannot believe there's not been more made of it. Maybe because we haven't got too many details yet. So we'd like to reassure people this is an isolated situation, no ongoing risk to patients. Yeah, sure, Boris. Please continue to call 999 in a life-threatening emergency. And then they said one of the 2 individuals that were initially suspended is no longer employed by the trust. Well, where are they working now? That's my question. Are they still working as a nurse or a paramedic or whatever they were, whatever position they held? Just because they're not working at the trust, where are they working? And then they said, due to the ongoing investigation, there will be no further comment at this stage. So I don't think we're going to get any comments until it comes to trial or whatever. But do you see, why don't the mainstream media pick up these kind of things? They pick up, to be frank, and not being horrible, because I know the killing of Charlie Kirk was a terrible thing, but really in the UK he wasn't even that well known, and now that's all you see all over the news, all over the social media. It's that, why is this not all over the social media? Because this applies more to normal people in their day-to-day life, especially if you're living in Wiltshire. You want to know, this is a public interest story. This is 6 people. Now, doctors, nurses, etc., they're not superhuman beings. Mistakes happen. People die, sometimes by medical mistakes. But 6 people, once it becomes 6 people, that's not a mistake, is it? That's deliberate. That's almost a serial killing. And that makes you think, are there others? Were these people deliberately? Like, if they're calling it death by neglect, but, maybe they deliberately wanted these people to die. Anyway, so I just wanted to highlight this so that people know about it. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that don't know about it. And to me, this is a bigger public interest story, especially for the UK, but really for everyone, because it doesn't matter where you are. We use ambulances, don't we? And when we get an ambulance, ring an ambulance and the ambulance comes, we trust those people implicitly to try and save our lives or our loved ones' lives. We don't, this seems to me it's going to turn out to be a terrible betrayal of trust to vulnerable people. But anyway, there you go. So I wanted to bring that to people's attention, and I have released a video about it. I released it this morning. So, okay, so that was the next thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, so let's go on to talk about Barry Morphew now. And this, again, most of these things that I'll be talking about in this video, they're quite short in themselves. They're just sort of like breaking news type things. Let's have a look now. We are following the case of Suzanne Morphew. This was, gosh, where do I start with this? So Suzanne Morphew, let's see. Let's share some photos first of all. So this is Suzanne Morphew. And Suzanne Morphew disappeared, didn't she, one Mother's Day? Supposedly went on a bike ride, was never seen alive again. And then her bicycle was found, her bicycle helmet was found, but Suzanne's body was not found. And her husband Barry, here on the photo, he came under immediate suspicion because they'd been having problems. She'd been having an affair with somebody. He was investigated. Barry supposedly had quite a lot of affairs. You know, it turned out that all was not rosy in their marriage garden, and Suzanne wanted a divorce. Now, you know, men like Barry, who to all intents and purposes is a total narcissist, they don't like their wives asserting themselves and asking for a divorce, do they? So anyway, she disappeared, poor Suzanne. And then really the case sort of, Barry was arrested and charged, but then he was released because there wasn't enough evidence. And we can see the photo of him here with their two daughters. Look how happy they all are. Because his daughters stand by him and say, no, he had nothing to do with it. He would not have killed our mum. I mean, it's, you know, I'm struggling for sympathy for the daughters, to be honest, because it just seems obvious to me that he did something to this poor woman. Anyway, then, as the police were out there searching for another lady who disappeared, Edna Quintana, we covered her. She's been found now, actually. But while they were searching for her body, because she disappeared, another woman that disappeared, lo and behold, they find human remains. And who are the human remains? Suzanne Morphew. So that caused big problems for Barry because the body was found quite far away from wherever the bike ride was. So she obviously hadn't walked there from where her bike was found and her helmet. So it looked like, you know, immediately it was suspicious, it was foul play. And who was it? And then when they did the post-mortem on Suzanne, because obviously she was skeletized, so it was difficult. They thought it was going to be difficult to tell her cause of death. But she had, her body, her bones contained traces of a tranquilizer that is used by like big game hunters and people like that. And guess who's a big game hunter or a hunter anyway? Barry Morphew. And it turned out he was the only person in his state, which I think is Colorado. I think so. Not sure. I'll check in a minute. He was the only person in the state that, because you have to register to buy those kind of tranquilizers. He was the only person registered to have bought them. What coincidence. So it's felt like he chased Suzanne around the house and fired these tranquilizer guns to tranquilize her. Now, when and where he killed her, we don't know. So we don't know if he killed her. Like the tranquilizer guns would not kill her, darts would not kill her. But it was like to subdue her. To do what, I wonder? You know, it makes you think, doesn't it? What did he do to this poor woman before he actually killed her? Anyway, so of course that led to him then being arrested again. And the good news is he has been arrested. He has been charged with murder. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't get found guilty. But anyway, that's a court case that, you know, he's innocent till proven guilty, as is everyone. Anyway, he was initially refused bond. But guess what? He's been given bond, so he's actually out, free. I mean, honestly, poor Suzanne, where's, you know, I just cannot believe it. So let's have a look. So this is the Colorado Gazette. Barry Morphew in jail on murder charges in the death of his wife, bonded out of the Alamosa County Jail Friday after securing surety on a $3 million bond. Now, he doesn't have to put up $3 million, but, you know, I'm just annoyed that he's even out. As per judge's orders, he was fitted with a GPS ankle monitor, and his attorney, David Bella, confirmed that funds for the bond were paid by friends and supporters. God, where's the support for Suzanne? So he's been grinning his way through all his court appearances. You know, he seems to think it's all hilarious. He's shown no sign of remorse of the fact, you know, not admitting about it, but, you know, shown no sign of remorse that Suzanne is even dead. Do you know what I mean? It's like he just doesn't care. And his daughters are supporting him. What's wrong with them? What is wrong with them? Anyway. Yeah, I think they are still standing by him, Bluebell. I do. Hi, Joanne. Hope you're well. So, I just wanted to tell you about that. I mean, it's just because it's irritated me. So apparently he was released at around noon on Friday. Clerical errors made in the paperwork postponed his release. And he said that during the 3 months that Morphew was in the Alamosa County Detention Center, this is his lawyer, he was a superb inmate. Now that's reminded me of David Konobovich's lawyer, Knezet, who said he was a funny guy. You know, when the reporter said, why was he laughing all through the hearings? She said, oh, well, he's a funny guy. He's innocent and blah, de, blah, de, blah. Anyway, of course, David Konobovich, he has taken his own life, and he's taken the secret of where his wife Anna's body is to his grave. He took his own life in prison. There's still searches go. I hope there's not a day, literally not a day that I don't think about Anna, and hope that her body will be found and brought home to her family, because, you know, she could be anywhere. She's probably in the suitcase that he took her out of her apartment in, and probably been buried in some obscure place. But that twonk, David Konobovich, he could have had the grace to at least reveal where she was. He's another narcissist control freak. He wants Anna's. That's when these twonks do that. It's like it's their control, isn't it? Controlling where Anna's body is. How dare she want to divorce him? You know, and ask for 50-50 of the profits. That's the Anna Connect. And this is a similar case, in my opinion. This is a man who just couldn't be divorced, and financial reasons probably, but also it's ego, isn't it? Ego reasons. He wouldn't, David Knezevich, he wouldn't have wanted, Anna was starting a new life in Madrid. He didn't want her to meet anybody else, even though he had lots of affairs. He treated Anna terribly. And she wanted 50% of their business because she'd helped grow it. And that's fair enough, isn't it? He didn't want to give her 50%. So instead, I mean, that to me is just like the most pointless crime ever, because they're both dead now. Nobody's got their business or their money or whatever. You know, it's just pointless. And it's very similar with Barry. But he always seems so happy. You know, why is he so happy? At the end of the day, his daughter's mother is dead, murdered, one way or another. So apparently, earlier this month, District Court Judge Amanda Hopkins denied a request by Morphew to reduce his bond to $500,000, but she did change the requirement from a cash bond to a surety bond, which meant he could await trial at home if a bail bond company was willing to guarantee the money, or someone is willing to put the value of property on the line. So normally 10 to 15% of a surety bond is required, and it is non-refundable. So apparently he's liquidating all of his assets in order to pay his legal bills, and he will be preparing for trial while confined to a Colorado residence. He will only be allowed outside for legal and medical appointments. So he's been in custody since June after he was indicted by a 12th Judicial District grand jury. He was arrested in connection with the murder of his wife in Gilbert, Arizona during a traffic stop. And for months he'd been living in Arizona under the name Lee Moore. You know, when someone starts living under a different name, it's not it's a bit of a red flag, isn't it, really? So prosecutors allege he and Suzanne were in a combative relationship. His phone was turned off for a long period the day she vanished. But he and his daughters professed his innocence. But yeah, in 2023, human remains were found in Saguache County in the San Luis Valley that were identified as Suzanne. Don't those daughters care about Suzanne? Anyway, it won't go to trial till next summer at the earliest, apparently. So we've got a long time to wait for this trial. A long time to wait for this trial, but honestly, yeah, David, exactly. He was looking for other women under a different name. See you in a bit, Angel. Yeah, I don't understand either. Joanne Why's daughters support him. I literally do not understand. You know, anyway, maybe they didn't get on with their mum. I don't know. But anyway, awful. So just wanted to let you know that. I'll keep you updated on the Barry Morphew case, of course. Right. What's the next thing I want to talk to you about? I've still got a couple of things to talk about. Oh, yeah, just want to, before we go on to talk about the Jay Slater documentary, because the date's been released now, that the Jay Slater documentary will be coming out. I just want to say, give you, if there's any update about Celeste. Now, Celeste Rivas, she is the young girl. I think she was only 13 when she went missing, 13 or 14. She was found in the car of a famous singer. Not that I've ever heard of him, but that means nothing because, you know, he's quite what's the word? He's a, I don't know, a rapper or whatever. It's a young person singer. He got famous on TikTok. Now, this is Celeste, bless her. Now it says, so her body was found, this girl, this young girl, she's been missing for over a year, and her body was found in the car of that singer, David he's called, but he spells his name in a ridiculous way. Have I got a photo, an up-close photo maybe to show? Yeah, so here's Celeste. This is him, the singer. I think we all know who he looks like. Reminds us of another evil twonk that I'm not going to mention his name. But here's the thing, I can't show you it. I showed one of his videos, one of his music videos, and it got pulled up by YouTube for copyright. So I'm not doing that. I don't want to give him any views anyway, to be honest. But he's a singer. Now, he may not have actually killed this girl. Somebody's murdered this girl because she didn't chop herself, because she was sort of chopped up as well, or half chopped up. You know, it seems like maybe they started chopping her up and didn't finish. She's deceased, and she was dismembered or partially dismembered. So it's definitely a homicide, isn't it? Because it's not a self-deletion. Well, certainly could be a self-deletion, but then you don't go on to chop yourself up, do you? So, yeah. So she was found decomposed in the trunk of a Tesla, which is registered to singer David after a foul smell was reported coming from it. And the singer's real name is David Anthony Burke. She was first reported missing on April the 5th after she was last seen in Lake Elsinore, California. She was only 13 when she went missing, and she has been identified as this body in the car. Now, we still don't know very much. He was on tour, but he has cancelled his tour now. He's said to be cooperating with the police. Celeste's family shared their grief at the discovery and predictably set up a GoFundMe to help. She was a beloved daughter, sister, cousin and friend. Her family is heartbroken and devastated by this tragic loss. They are seeking help to lay her body to rest. Any funds you're able to donate are greatly appreciated. Let's have a look at the GoFundMe. It's like a knee-jerk reaction these days, isn't there? So they've raised, that's a very small amount, isn't it? 18,000 really compared to what sometimes. So their target is 20,000 though. So they're nearly at their target. And they've put it up in Spanish as well. So yeah, that's where that photo comes from. Bless her. 13 years old when she went missing. So allegedly, and it is allegedly, she'd said that her boyfriend was called David. She's been on photos with him on social media. They had identical tattoos. So, I mean, at the end of the day, definitely knew her. He definitely knew her. But that does not, oh, sorry, I didn't even share that. That does not mean, of course, that he killed her. So there's some talk that maybe somebody new may have put her in there. You know, we have to remember that. He's not been arrested or charged yet. We're keeping an eye on it. He supposedly has been helping the police with their inquiries. He is cooperating. He's cancelled his gigs because he was in the middle of this tour. He's even going to Paris. You know, it's quite a big tour, so he's on the brink of a big stardom, I think. You know, from a TikTok star to maybe, you know, more national and international stardom. So, yeah, we're keeping an eye on this case, this poor girl, because whatever, you know, she won't be the first young girl to be impressed by a bad boy, would she? You know, that's, you know, he reminds me a bit of, it's like the Diddy sort of, all that horrible stuff. You know, it's like, you know, there'll always be young girls that are impressed by singers or famous people. That unfortunately is the way of the world. And, you know, so she's underage. So, you know, she can't be held responsible for it. He's in his late 20s, I think. So he can be held responsible. Oh, thank you, Joanne. I've just seen that. Thank you so much for the super sticker. You're always so kind. I'm going to put put the thank you up. Thank you. Thank you so much to Joanne for the super sticker. You're a very good supporter of this channel. Thank you. So yeah, poor Celeste. You know, at the end of the day, 13-year-old girl won't be the first 13-year-old girl to have her head turned. And she looks older, doesn't she? She does look older. Not that that means anything, because in her head she's still 13, isn't she? She is 13 in her head, whether she looks older or not. And at the end of the day, he's the adult. He's supposed to know better. I think the other thing that struck me strange, because he's gone off on this tour, like if she was his girlfriend, I mean, obviously he won't want to publicly come out and say she's his girlfriend because she was only 13. why has it taken so long for her to be reported missing, etc.? Oh no, actually, I think she was reported missing quite a long time ago. But this car, so just so you know, so this car of his, it had been towed, and I think he was hoping that it would get crushed. So the car was towed. It was in one of those places where they keep towed cars, and it's only because one of the workers there noticed the smell coming from it. Otherwise, would it have got? Would it have got crushed? And would that have been it? And then nobody would have ever known about poor Celeste, her fate. Now, at least her family know what's happened to her now. So it's better than somebody just being missing forever, is it? Even though it's horrible, horrible news. So I just wanted to talk about that. I don't think there's any mega news, like, he hasn't been charged. There'll be all sorts of, I think the forensic things have been finished now, and the car has been returned to the impound. I'm sure I read that a couple of hours ago. They've searched his home. That's right, they searched his home. Might be able to watch that, actually. Let's have a look at this. So there's a little advert.
Authorities urgently looking for clues in the death of Celeste Rivas, a 15-year-old girl who went missing more than a year ago. Her remains found inside a Tesla registered to the critically acclaimed singer, David. Investigators executing a search warrant at the home rented by the 20-year-old singer in the Hollywood Hills. Officers seen removing several items, including a computer, according to authorities. The skyrocketing career of the artist born David Anthony Burke now at a standstill. A performance at the Grammy Museum next week no longer listed on their website. He's not been charged with any crime and has yet.
Yeah, he's not been charged with anything yet. So we have to remember that. The other thing so he has been dropped by a couple of his sponsors, which again seems a bit unfair because he may not have anything to do with it. We have to remember that. Just because it was in his car, I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. Other people could have had the key to his car. So we do not know for sure that he has killed this girl. We have to remember that.
Yet to make a public statement. Rivas's body was found in the trunk of an impounded Tesla registered to the singer. At this time, investigators still working to determine a cause of death. The teenager grew up in this Southern California neighborhood of Lake Elsinore.
She always quiet, nice. She come in like if she buy like a chips, soda, and leave.
The medical examiner says she had a tattoo reading "shh" on her index finger. David had the same one, a popular design among performers.
One would need to get to the bottom of that to see if, in fact, she had some sort of relationship with him. That still doesn't mean that he harmed her, but it would give you a lot more information as to circumstances of her having interactions with him, and in particular, interactions with his vehicle.
Well, David canceled a tour stop in Seattle, but tickets are still available for his concerts tonight in California. Guys.
Okay, Kana, thanks very much.
Yo soy profesor infantil, tenía un alumno
I just can't imagine that he's actually going to do anything. He can't do his concerts, surely. He can't, even in California, or wherever. He just can't. With this hanging over him, surely he can't do a concert. Surely he can't. Ay. But yeah, I agree with you, Annie. I think there will be a charge coming. I think there will be. And I'll keep on top of that. And if any developments in that, I'll let you know. So, before I talk about the Jay Slater documentary, one more thing, a little very short update on Dezi Freeman. Now, Dezi Freeman, of course, is the man who's on the run, another man who's on the run, but this time in Australia. And it's continuing. They have not found him. So just to let you know that. They have not found him, but they've been and raided someone else's house, and they had the person in handcuffs, but they haven't arrested them. So I just need to say that. So the police are still looking for Dezi Freeman, who's one of these free citizens. He doesn't believe in the state. He's raged against the state, actually hates the police. And they went round to his house with a search warrant for a historic sex offence case, which people are telling me in comments and things was something and nothing. I don't know. It's definitely historic. It's not something that's happened recently. And the police went round to his house with a search warrant and tried to arrest him. And he shot 2 policemen dead. And he's been on the run ever since, hasn't he? Anyway, so there's been a slight development, nothing to do with him really, in the sense of he hasn't been found. But he's somebody, let's just share this. I don't know why this person's house has been stormed. So, an Alpine home has been stormed in hunt for alleged cop killer Dezi Freeman. Cops have stormed a house in Victoria's Alpine region as the hunt for alleged cop killer Dezi Freeman enters its 25th day. Tactical officers with unmarked cars and an armoured vehicle surrounded a house on Standish Street before a hooded man was led away in handcuffs about 4 p.m. on Friday. And a police spokesman told that the Newswire officers conducted a firearm prohibition order search, but no arrests were made. So, yeah, this guy's put, he don't want to be recognised, obviously. He's put, he was put in handcuffs and led away while they carried out the search, but he hasn't been arrested. So, yeah, there you go. That's the latest. But no news of where, I think, very sadly, and I mean that, although I don't obviously approve of him killing 2 police officers, I cannot approve of that. I'm sorry, I just can't. A lot of people are sort of celebrating that, people who, other sovereign citizens that think, the police are the enemy. To me, I can't condone him shooting dead those officers. But I don't want any harm to come to Dezi either. It's very similar, isn't it, to the situation that's just been resolved in America of finding that they found their fugitive. But Dezi Freeman, he's still a fugitive. I won't be surprised if he's done something to himself somewhere along the line. Though they say there are lots of places he could be hiding. He's another one who's experienced in survivalism. There are people that may have helped him. So I hope no harm has come to him. I never wish any harm to come to anybody, to be honest. Not even Travis Decker and, pieces of shit like that. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But when someone's been missing for all this time and the police have put so many resources out for this, I wonder if he's not deceased somewhere. But I don't know. I don't have the same strong feeling that I did over Travis Decker. I thought from day one that he was dead. But I don't know about Dezi because, maybe Dezi has got people hiding him. I think it's more of a possibility that Dezi is still alive somewhere than there was about Travis Decker being still alive. Anyway, just wanted to tell you that again. Any news about Dezi, I will be back to tell you about it. Hi, Princess. Hope you're well. Okay, where are we going now? So, Jay Slater. So the actual, this long-awaited documentary that's coming out, finally, they've actually said when it's going to be shown. Here we go. So according to AI, it's funny now, isn't it? Whenever you Google something, you used to get Wikipedia would come up first. Now it's the AI overview from, I think it's Gemini. The disappearance of Jay Slater, and it's going to air on Sunday, the 28th of September. So that's next Sunday, not tomorrow, and it'll be on Channel 4. Let me just put a picture up of Jay. So Jay Slater was a case we covered again. It was last summer, wasn't it? Poor Jay. Poor lad, only 19 years old. Let's put some photos of him up so that we can, just to remind us, though I'm sure you haven't forgotten who he is. It was a big case, wasn't it? Because he was missing for so long, of course. How was it, a month he was missing, or maybe even longer? Let me just share the photos of him. Yeah, so Jay was a lad. He was 19 years old. He went off on his first holiday, lad's holiday, to Tenerife, and he disappeared, didn't he? And there's, I'm not going into all the some people feel there's more to this case than it appears. Personally, I don't. I think it was, it was an accident that he just, unfortunately, it was like misadventure, really, because he went. I think the mysterious thing is why he went off to the Airbnb with Ayub and Rocky. Not sure why he did that, but we'll never know, because Ayub and Rocky, I think it was probably connected with drugs, the reason that he went there. But Ayub and Rocky are never going to say that, are they? They're not going to say, oh, yeah, he came to the apartment because we were going to give him some drugs or whatever. They're not going to say it. So I don't think we'll ever get to the bottom of that. But I don't believe there was any foul play. I personally don't. But I know a lot of you do, and that's fine. We've all got our views. But the inquest, oh my God, the inquest found, of course, that it was an accident, that he, oh God, that's some idiot outside with a motorbike playing around now. The inquest found that he decided to take a cut across to try and make his way back to his apartment. We'll never know what was going through his head at the time. He had been raving for a few days. He hadn't drank proper water or eaten properly, so he wouldn't have been in a normal frame of mind. We'll never know. We'll never know that. Anyway, fell down a ravine. This was what the official version was. This is what was decided at both the Spanish inquest and at the British inquest, that it was accidental death. And now they're having this documentary. Now, this documentary will be interesting because the family have, given the family. The thing is, the family have accepted that it was an accidental death. So don't forget that the search team that went out there, that the family paid to go out there, they said there was no way that anybody could get up there carrying a body. So, unless he was dropped from a helicopter into the ravine or somebody pushed him in there. But, that means somebody got into that. They found it hard. They're a search team that are experienced in terrain, and they found it hard to get up there. And the Guardia Civil had to get a helicopter to get him out of there. He underestimated the terrain, in my opinion, and before he knew it, he was lost. He remember he made that panic phone call and said he didn't know where he was. He couldn't find his way back. and then he slipped. That it just seems, I just don't really see why that just doesn't seem logical to people. But anyway, a lot of people don't think that, and that's fine. I'm just saying what I think, and anybody who's got an opposite view, they can express it, no problem. But that was what was decided anyway at the inquest, and his family have accepted it. I think we have to remember that. His family have accepted it, and his mum and dad, my heart breaks them, because of course they were separated, weren't they? They weren't still together. Just horrible. 19-year-old lad, that's it. He just turned his life around. He'd had some problems, hadn't he, in his early teens. He'd really narrowly escaped prison, didn't he, for getting involved in quite serious crimes, or at the end of the day got involved with a group that were involved in serious crimes. And again, I'm not going to be on there debating on sort of how serious what he did was, or because I don't even know the full facts of it. But all I know is he was 16. He did some bad things, but he turned his life around, and a lot of people don't manage to turn their life around here. It was an apprentice bricklayer. He was enjoying his life, and he died. So that's it as far as I'm concerned. He deserves sympathy, and his family deserves sympathy. And it'll be interesting to see how this documentary goes. I'm quite looking forward to watching it, because apparently there's going to be a lot more details released. Maybe not. Maybe it'll end up being one of those things that I knew more. I know a lot about this case, so it might be one of those things where after watching it, I think, God, I knew more than that anyway. Who knows? But anyway, that just to let you know when it is. So I'll probably remind you nearer the time. So this is how it describes it. It'll explore the tragic events surrounding Jay Slater's disappearance and death in Tenerife, focusing on his family's experience with media intrusion and online speculation. Now, whatever your views are, you've got to agree it was horrible the way especially Debbie, the mum, was treated by TikTokers and the media, not only the social media, but mainstream media. She was shown no respect. People were phoning her saying he'd been kidnapped. Remember all those horrible photos circulating of a young lad that looked like him, sort of, with something around his neck and bruises all over his face. There were videos made up and put out there as deliberate, for deliberate clickbait, conspiracy theories that it escaped on a boat, and some really crazy things. Whatever you think, there was crazy things. Now, I understand how people can think, well, why did he go back to that Airbnb in the first place? That is, I think, an enduring mystery that will always be. And as I say, Rocky and Ayub know why, but they're not going to say why, because it may have been for some nefarious purpose. So they're not going to say, oh, well, yeah, he came back because we were going to sell him the drugs we had left. So they were going home the next day, weren't they? Or if he was a drug mule, some people say that. I don't think he was, but say he was. Rocky and Ayub, they're not going to say that, are they? So, you've got to be realistic in that sense. It's just whether you believe his death was an accident, or what do you think, that Ayub took him up to that ravine and pushed him over? Come on. Even just saying it out loud, it seems ridiculous. You can't imagine Ayub doing anything as strenuous as that. Do you know what I mean? He's not going to go up to a ravine and put his own life in danger to push Jay off the edge. Anyway, it's one thing that'll always give me a little, I don't know if it make Debbie laugh or Warren, because sometimes you have to find a little bit of levity in these situations. I wish I could have been a fly on the wall at the inquest. When Ayub was giving his testimony, just the way he talks, and now Mr. Aidley, the coroner, of course, he had to take the case, even though really he'd retired, because he wouldn't give up a chance of being the centre of attention, would he? But just the thought of them two talking to each other, and Ayub with his, you know what I mean, bro, and all that, he's sort of street talk, and Mr. Aidley so posh and refined. It just makes me chuckle every time I think about it. Anyway, there you go. That's just my sense of humour. I hope that doesn't offend anyone, but it did make me smile at the time. It still makes me smile because, you know, Mr. Aidley's so up himself, isn't he? And Ayub is just so sort of, I think, personally, I think Ayub is not as street wise as he likes to make out he is, because he talks about his mum a lot, doesn't he, and his family and everything. I think it's just, you know, the thing is, you have to walk people's shoes, don't you? You know, I wasn't brought up the same way. You know, I've been brought up in one way. Ayub has had his life, and he's grown up with this bravado. You know, he got involved in bad things when he was young, didn't he? He went to prison for years, and he said himself, I've seen him being interviewed, you know, he doesn't want to go back to prison. Doesn't want to go back to prison. He's been there, done that, got the T-shirt, didn't like it. And he said that not the first time he went to prison, but the second time, it did change his life. You know, it did improve his life afterwards. So I don't know. We'll see. Now, of course, Rocky's the really dodgy one, because they couldn't find him, could they? Because it turns out that Rocky's got other warrants out for his arrest, so he wouldn't go to the inquest. He didn't want to be found, but he already had warrants out for his arrest. So you can see why he wouldn't want to go near the police, because then they're just going to say, oh, by the way, you've got these other warrants for your arrest. And, you know, so he's sort of avoided that. Apparently he's been back to the Airbnb, hasn't he, to stay at the same Airbnb. You know, I think I'll have to go and stay there one day and see what the attraction of it is. The thought of being right up in the mountains, you know, you wouldn't really want to be there, would you? So let's see. So it's to air on Sunday, September the 28th at 9 p.m. and it will explore the tragic events surrounding Jay Slater's disappearance and death in Tenerife, focusing on his family's experience with media intrusion and online speculation. The film offers a personal look at the case, the social media storm it generated. It wasn't only social media storm, and the devastating impact of online commentary on a grieving family. I do think they treated the family terribly, especially it was awful the way Jay's mum was treated. Awful. Oops. So that's it. Sunday the 28th of September at 9 p.m. UK time on Channel 4. I'll be watching it, definitely will be watching it, and we'll see. Okay. So that's it for the crime things, I think, that I wanted to talk about. There is something else that I just want to talk about, just something lighter that I think might just make you laugh. You know, we need a laugh, don't we, these days? Have you seen, and it's just something, again, that just caught my eye, I saw it on the news. It hasn't been a really big news story, but it's quite funny. David, you might know about this, or anybody who's in Scotland. I'd not heard of it before. So, do you know about this African tribe that has taken over there's only 3 people in it, by the way. Maybe tribe is too, what's the word? Maybe tribe is too strong a word. But yeah, this is not really crime at all. So this is just interesting, or I think it is. So this African tribe have gone to this place in Scotland and said that they've got ancestral rights to this place. And the council and that, they're trying to get rid of them. They gave them one eviction notice. So a self-styled African tribe have been served with another eviction notice after moving from their previous camp to a new site in the Scottish borders. The so-called Kingdom of Kubala were evicted from privately owned land near Jedburgh on Tuesday, but they just moved over a small fence and set up another base nearby. And Scottish Borders Council began legal action to evict them after establishing that the new camp was on land owned by the local authority. And the group have now been told that they have until noon on Monday to leave. Let's have a look at the video. I mean, they obviously can't be Scottish because they haven't got ginger hair. Sorry if that's an insult to ginger-haired people. No, but it's a standing joke, isn't it? They can't, you've got to claim any Scottish ancestry. You've got to have some red hair somewhere.
Gracias a Gemini en Gmail, la IA resume mensajes e hilos de correo extensos para que puedas ponerte al día más rápido, estés donde estés. Tu correo con menos esfuerzo. Así es Google Workspace con Gemini.
I just think it's hilarious. I feel like it could only happen in Britain. Britain is a crazy place, isn't it? We're all eccentric British people. Well, I'm presuming they're British. I don't know if they're British. They're in Britain. Oh dear, you've got to laugh, haven't you? Do you know what? So he's the king. This guy's the king. She's the queen, I think, the one in the red jumper. I think she's the queen. And this is the handmaiden. The other girl is the handmaiden. That's it. That's the whole tribe. And they've claimed ancestry and they've set up camp and declared it their kingdom. How they ended up there, I don't know. They look happy though.
Those people you call authorities or whatever, I instructed them, I commanded them to move my stuff for me because I
You
am the
asked them
king.
to move the tents.
I'm
The sheriff officers.
I commanded them.
I commanded them.
I think the
He's the
sheriff
king.
commanded them to come and remove the stuff. Was it
Oh, what's he
not the
eating?
sheriff that commanded
I
that
do
and he
not
gave the
know
order?
about the
Is it
court
Kentucky
command.
chicken?
I know about my command.
Looked like he was eating a bit of Kentucky chicken there. Let's just watch that again. I think it's hilarious. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
How do you feel about being evicted this morning? Can I ask how you feel?
I just love it.
Those people you call authorities or whatever, I instructed them, I commanded them to move my stuff for me because I
You
am the
asked them
king.
to move the tents.
I'm
The sheriff officers.
I commanded them.
I commanded them.
I think the sheriff court commanded them to come and remove the stuff.
So he's chomping on his Kentucky.
I do not know about the court commands. I know about my command.
Don't think that could only happen in Britain. And why go there? I mean, as somebody I think just said there in the chat, they'll soon change their mind when it comes to November, December. It'd be bloody freezing in Scotland. You know, how they shelter in when it rains and what have you. Oh, dear me. I think it is so funny. So, Jedburgh Councillor Scott Hamilton, Deputy Leader of Scottish Borders Council, said if the group do not leave by that point, the council will consider its options, including seeking an order from the sheriff. Oh, my God. So, oh, yeah, they've only just arrived. They're from Zimbabwe. How could you claim ancestral rights over Scottish? You know, what's Scotland got to do with Zimbabwe? So Ghanaian coffee reminds me of coffee, you know, like buy me a coffee, the coffee thing. Ghanaian, I'll be able to say it in a minute. Kofi Offie, Kofi Offie, like Funky Offie. Kofi Offie, Kofi Offie, 36, and Jean Gasho, 42. She's from Zimbabwe, he's from Ghana. So they first arrived in the Jedburgh area in the spring, and they described themselves as King Atihehe. This is some wind up, isn't it? Is it the 1st of April today or what? King Atihehe and Queen Nandi. They set up camp on a hillside above the town in the Scottish borders. And now they've been joined by the handmaiden, Cowra Taylor from Texas, who calls herself Asnat. The group claimed ancestral rights to land and insisted that the kingdom of Kubala had been born. And Mr. Fucky Offie, sorry, it's not Fucky Offie, it's Kofi Offie, previously said he was not afraid of the warrant for their eviction. Well, no, I mean, he'd take them to prison because they'd probably quite like that. They've got a roof over their head and they get 3 meals a day. In a post on Facebook, they said, the kingdom of Kubala can never be destroyed. Oh, they've got a Facebook page. I'm going to have a look at that in a minute. Yeah, we've got a Facebook page. Let's see. Oh, do you know what? It really is a crazy world, isn't it? You know, you just think, can't get any crazier. And it gets crazier. They're probably on benefits. Waiting for their council house. Sorry, I shouldn't be facetious, but just makes me laugh. The kingdom of Quebec. Like, now they haven't got that many followers. Let's have a look. I don't want to follow it. So here it is, the kingdom of Kubala. 234 followers. I'm not going to follow it. I'm not. We are reclaiming the land, our land, the land of the Lord. We live from the earth naturally, and we do not recognise man-made law as supreme. So they're a little bit like Dezi Freeman. Maybe that's where Dezi Freeman's gone. Maybe he's gone to see Fucky Offie and his friend. You know, it's very similar, isn't it? Sovereign citizens. We do not recognise man-made law as supreme. We urge everyone to join us in this mission to reinstate our land and restore our Mother Earth. Let's see the photos. Don't you feel that? I feel like they're going to get more people are going to go and see him. We were attacked, so on the 4th of September, they said we were attacked by individuals who act out of ignorance. They didn't understand what they were doing, and we choose to forgive them. We are brothers and sisters, united not by blood, but by humanity. We stand for unity, love, and peace. Please do not be hostile towards us. We come in peace, and we are on your side. Love one another, brothers and sisters. Call your mum, your dad. Greet your neighbours. Help the elderly. Oh, smile at a stranger. Live in harmony with our Mother Earth, and let kindness be your compass. Have a wonderful day, brothers and sisters. I do quite like that, what they've said there. I mean, I do like that. You know, yeah, maybe they'll probably end up in Spain. Oh, I tell you what, the Guardia, they wouldn't last 5 minutes in Spain. I don't think the Guardia have any qualms about just going and taking people off. Do you know what I mean? I think it's oh God, should we all go and join them? Maybe in the summer. Maybe in the summer we'll go and join them. Not now, it's too cold, isn't it? It's already too cold. So a call to rise. We are reclaiming our land, the land of our Lord. We live from the earth, naturally guided not by man-made law, but by truth rooted in creation. Join us, walk with us, let the healing begin. God. So I wonder what what the old wife, the old queen thinks. I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. I wonder what she thinks of the handmaiden from Texas. Why, oh dear. I am again speechless. So it does take a lot to make me speechless, but I've been speechless a few times in this life. Yeah. We live from the earth in harmony with its rhythms and wisdom. No law written by man can override the truth written in the wind, the water, and the roots of our Mother Earth. This is a mission of restoration, a mission of remembrance, a mission of rebirth. Notice I didn't do it in Zimbabwe either, because they'd probably get shot. They are going to regret this. There's no doubt when that cold Scottish winter bites in. Well, they'll probably have been evicted by then, to be honest. Or maybe it's a way of getting a house. Oh, look, someone's put on there, beautiful people. God. Do you think they're going to get more people? Do you think they'll get more people? Oh, dear. I mean, what do these two... So they've got so it's a king, a queen, and a handmaiden so far. So if you want to be, if you want to be part of that, you know where to go. Go on, why don't you all have a little meet up? Oh dear, I'd like to go and make a video there. It'd be interesting. I don't sleep in tents. I don't do camping. I do not do camping. I love the countryside and I love it, but I have to sleep in a proper bed, in a hotel preferably. I don't even do glamping. So that wouldn't do for me at all. Oh, dear me. Yeah. Where are they going to the toilet? Yeah, exactly. Oh, my God. They're going to, oh, dear. Yeah, there's all those basics, aren't they? But I swear he had Kentucky. I mean, are they going hunting animals? I mean, what are they eating? What are they living on? Are they on benefits? Where's their money coming from? I mean, how do you, it's like, well, they couldn't go to America, could they? Because they'd get rounded up by the ice raids. It's like, so they've gone to Britain. Maybe they're trying to get a house. Now, I just want to point out that when Princess says this, she's not talking about this guy here. I didn't say he was dishy. He's not dishy. Princess has started off the video from the beginning. She's talking about the sheriff from earlier. He is dishy. Oh, dear me. Dear me. So we'll see what happens on Monday. Yeah, he's not even dishy, do you know what I mean? Maybe it was Idris Elba or someone, but I don't know, honestly. the world is crazy, isn't it? It is crazy. It's just mad. But I just thought this was funny, and I thought I'd show it because it'd cheer us up after talking about crime. What's he? Maybe she's. Hey, Devon. A great self-inflating double mattress from makes tent camping. Oh, I just can't do camping. Just don't like it. I feel very insecure in a tent. I like to be on a proper nice bed. I don't mind it don't have to be a 4-star hotel. Though I prefer that, of course. Well, no, I'll sleep in a hostel or anywhere like that. But I have to be on a bed and I have to be under a ceiling to be able to sleep. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh God, yeah, Joanne, yeah, they'll be eating the dogs and cats. Oh God, don't. Do you know, this is how crazy it is, isn't it? The world. It's crazy. It's crackers. I saw a video on TikTok the other day that, caravan would be all right. And caravan. Yeah, one of them great big ones. You know, one of them great big mobile home things. Not a titchy little caravan, but, you know, proper big luxury one. Yeah, that'd be okay. Dear me. Well, who's doing the washing? Where are they doing the washing? They've got some posh clothes there, haven't they, by the look of it? They've got all their robes and everything. Look, I mean, you know, joking aside, if they're not doing anyone any harm, I don't see really. I don't see really what's wrong with it if they're not disturbing anyone and they're not violent. And so it sounds like they were at one of their posts there. They said they were attacked, didn't they? That's a shame because they're not doing any harm, are they? They're just, we were attacked by individuals who acted out of ignorance. Now, I don't know who they're referring to there. I don't know if they mean the people that came to evict them or whether, you know, some locals went and attacked them or some teenagers or whatever. You know, they're not doing any harm, are they? It's just, do you know what? Life would be boring if nobody ever did mad things like this. And they're not doing it. They're not hurting anyone, are they? Long as they're not hurting anyone, and they're giving us entertaining things to look at. I mean, you know, it doesn't appeal to me, but I think they'll get more people, especially from America. The ones that they've got to flee America because of the ice raids and that, so they'll all be going over to the kingdom of Kubala. With Fucky Offie and his oh dear me, sorry. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. It was just to make you laugh at the end of, you know, crime. True crime's not got many laughs in it, has it? So sometimes you just need to have a little laugh. Yeah, it could be a publicity stunt. I think they're trying to get a council house, personally. I think it has tickled me, Angel, because you know what? I like eccentric people. I think that's, I know they're not British, but I think that's a very British thing, isn't it? Eccentricity in general, and we're very tolerant of eccentrics. I don't know. People are a little bit eccentric. I find them interesting. You know, can't all be a Coca-Cola bottle, can we? All be the same. But yeah, I hope they're okay anyway. I hope whatever happens, I hope they're okay. So that's it. I'm going to go and make some lunch. It's Saturday. I think I might have a little glass of vino. Saturday, I don't have to drive. Weather's nice. It's like a party feel in my village at the moment because the fiestas are on. So otherwise, I probably would have tried to do a live tonight, but I think there'll probably be bangers and everything like they were last night. So but anyway, I expect I'll be back tomorrow. And I probably will divide this video into short videos just to put out there. So thank you so much for watching. And Joanne, as always, you're very kind. Thank you so much for the super sticker. That's very much appreciated. And yeah, do you know what? I'll put that towards my fund to go and live in the kingdom of Kubala, but stay in a hotel nearby. I'm joking. I'm joking. Okay, so thank you so much. I'll see you really soon. Have a great, David, this will be going out to all my chatters and they'll all be running to go to the kingdom of Kubala. Okay, I'll see you really soon in the next video. Take care. You are the most important person. And till I see you again, may your God go with you. Love you loads. Thank you. Bye. Oh, let me just put, let's have a fun, actually, I'm going to put a song on to finish. I'm going to put the ha 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 song on. For those who don't know, some of my members, like one in particular, has made me some nice songs that I put to videos. And we watch them normally in the members, but I think we'll have a look at this one to cheer us up. Have a great Saturday. Probably see you tomorrow. Bye.
Click that like if you're smiling today. Give a follow to help spread the play. Share the play with friends everywhere, so more can laugh and show they care. Like, follow, share, subscribe, don't hide. Like, follow, share, subscribe, don't hide. Like, follow, share, subscribe, don't hide, don't hide. Join Vicky Marie's Ride Worldwide. Tap that bell so you never miss a dose of love and endless bliss. YouTube others, search my name, Vicky Marie. Let's grow this flame. Thanks for the support. You're the best crew. Now go tell the world you know what to do. Vicky Marie. Ha ha ha. You Marie. Ha ha ha. Let's brag now. Click that like if you're smiling today. Give a follow to help spread the play. Share the joy with friends everywhere, so more can laugh and show they care. Like, follow, share, subscribe, don't hide. Like, follow, share, subscribe, don't hide. Like, follow, share, subscribe, don't hide, don't hide. Let's grow this flame. Click that like if you're smiling today. Give a follow to help spread the play. Share the joy with friends everywhere, so more can laugh and show they care.